We've got a mic and everything. I feel like I'm going to go do karaoke or something. Look, it seems like we rehearsed because my story is sort of a continuation of your story. This is fantastic. I love it. Great scheduling. So what's the headline? Hold on. The big agency boss told me to zip it. You will not believe what happened next. So that how it goes. I'm going to share with you a story, just a little episode of my life from 3 years ago. What happened in a boardroom in a big major advertising agency just around the corner from here, what I learned from it. So it was supposed to be a regular working meeting, and it turned into a major gender power struggle. So it fits into the topic a little bit. Interlike was charged to deliver a multiple event project, and a few things went wrong. So our technology didn't perform 100%, and their project manager screwed up on multiple occasions. So the client wasn't happy, and we were called into a mediation in the agency. So one thing to know about me, I prepare, and in the boardroom I was sort of in damage control. I'm really good at damage control, so I'm kind of like a professional firefighter in a boardroom setting. So I came with all my lists and checklists and all my printouts and all the broken promises and all that stuff, but I was focused on resolving it and finding a way to deliver the value to the client. From their agency, there was an account manager and her boss, and myself and Clinton, my partner, went in, and we were 100% focused on the outcome and to resolve it, to find a way to deliver still the rest of the events. And unfortunately, very quickly it became apparent so that the boss had a different agenda. He just wanted to find someone to blame. And so he was just very dismissive. And the very fact that it was me who was leading the discussion from our side seemed to annoy the shit out of him. He was dismissive, talked through me, mansplaining. Do you know what mansplaining is? Yeah, did that, just looked through me and really pushed my buttons. So it was kind of going like this. So I would say something, he would shoot me a dismissive look, then look at Clinton and ask a question. Clinton, knowing that this is me who deals with that sort of situation in our company, would readdress a question to me. I'll nod and I'll answer the question. And that would go over and over. And it's starting to get to me. It started to get a little bit heated. And at some point I was just, without waiting for Clinton to readdress the question to me, I answered. I spoke out of order. And at this point, the big agency boss sharply turned to me and said, "Zip it." Yeah. So, wow. Okay, so it was a silence, and then I kind of hear Clinton muttering under his breath, "Oh, no, you didn't." Yes, you did. So it was silence. I got up in full silence, marched to the door. Clinton went with me, and I turned around and I said, "Look, this conversation is over. We will continue communication with your company when you provide a written apology." We left. So what happened next? We were contacted by his superiors, and I was told that I probably should have a thicker skin if I want career in advertising, that I probably shouldn't be taking things so personally, etc., etc. So we couldn't really get that written apology, surprise. And but we did get fully paid for our project and decided to part ways. We lost the client. And that's my story. Right, so there are 3 major points that I wanted to share from you. I'm really sorry if I run a little bit over time. They are important, I promise. Oh, yeah, I think. So first point is that it was a big deal and it was a lot at stake, but I don't regret doing this. So for us, as being a small company, building our portfolio, having a client like that meant a lot. So to say no and walk out, it was a big blow financially, and I thought was reputational will be bad, but actually a lot of good came out of it. We got respect, and we got a bit of, we got the different clients out of it. We got clients that we deserved later on. And so the main thing for me was that I kind of started to define who I was as a leader, who I was as a person, who I was like a personal brand, what I wanted to portray. And I got a lot of respect from my team and from the industry at large. So I learned that I was someone who stands up for what I believe in. That brings me to the second point, inequality and standing up for your rights. I don't know how aware you are about the statistics in New Zealand. They're pretty dreadful. So this was not an isolated incident. This happens a lot. In advertising, it's almost like by default, you expect it if you're a junior or a supplier to be yelled at or thrown, like being dismissed. It's normal, you know, and it's not okay. And a lot of those bosses are men. And just a not so fun fact from statistics, you know, you love data, with in top 100 listed companies in New Zealand, only 15% are in the directorship roles are women, and under 5% are CEOs. Under 5%. And it's a shocking statistics, and it's not going to change unless we start doing something about it. If we're going to allow ourselves to be yelled at and dismissed, we got to stand up for your rights. You got to stand up for your rights. And if we don't, like, what hope there is for those in other countries that don't even have our opportunities? That's the second point. Very quickly, I'll try to speed up. The second point was that we're so blessed in this country. We have an opportunity to get an education, to build our own career, to choose whether to have a baby, to get married. Don't take it lightly. You've got those choices, and those people actually literally died for you to have these rights. You know, there's a girl, Malala, who got shot in the face because she refused to not go to school in Pakistan. That happened a couple of years ago. This still happens. So if you don't actually exercise your rights, what hope there is for those who can't do it, right? So you're in the privileged position. So that's sorry. So, but it is hard. It is hard to do this. I wasn't always this confident woman going and telling everyone what's what. You know, I went through a big personal journey, and if you are shy, if you're not okay with just picking up, find a mentor. In New Zealand, there are amazing business support groups for females. It's something that I found out recently as I was getting some investment. There are actually specific organizations that are there to help women in business in New Zealand. I will share a couple of links on MUV Talks later on and on the Facebook page. So reach out to them, find a mentor, and find someone who can help you to be the amazing woman that you can be. And just one last thing in conclusion. The entrepreneurship is hard. You've chosen a very hard road. Building and growing your business is very difficult. It's even more difficult for a woman, I should know. But there's one thing that I really love about being my own boss is the choices. I have choices to choose. I can choose who to work with, and more importantly, who not to work with. And you've got that choice to say no. If someone treats you with disrespect, you can stand up, you can walk out, and you can demand a written apology, or you can get them the hell out of your life. And if you do that, I promise you, a lot of good will come out of it. So good luck.